Parents, welcome to another at-home video, which I know is pretty much everybody's life right now. It's just being at home. So they're going to look a little bit different for the rest of the school year, or what would have been the school year for FSM on Wednesdays. We're still doing service, but we are live streaming that on our YouTube page. So Fellowship Student Ministries, you can go there 6:30 every Wednesday night. The last couple are already on there. If your student missed them or you missed them, you're welcome to go back and watch those anytime. And then each Wednesday night at 6:30, a new one premieres. So we're excited to be able to share with that and still be able to shepherd our students through that. We're walking through a series on the life of David right now, but for you guys, as we are kind of walking through this quarantine thing together, I wanted to really just take time in these videos and encourage you, that challenge you as well, hopefully, because this is uncharted territory for everybody. And so knowing, that Jesus still wants us to grow in him. He still wants to move in us and move through us. He still wants to do that in our students as well. How do we as parents be intentional about the things that we're doing and how we're parenting our students during this time? And so just to kind of kick us off a little bit, I want to start you guys down a path of just reflecting a little bit, because something that's been on my heart recently, as we're kind of maybe catching glimmers of hope that this is somewhere near its end, and that life can quote unquote get back to normal. Something I've been thinking about, and I was talking to our staff today about this very thing. Just this idea that, life before all of this hit, before this great big pause kind of happened to society, I think all of us can say that there were aspects of life that we loved, that were good, that were God honoring, that we just unable to do while we're staying in quarantine, and so those are good. But I think there are aspects of our lives too that maybe we're taking focus away from the main thing, that we really need to examine. And here's what I mean by that. This self-isolation quarantine thing has kind of caused all of us to take our baskets that are our lives, that are filled with all these different things, these different eggs, and kind of just dump them all out, because nothing is normal right now. And everybody's yearning for the day when we can pick those baskets back up and scoop all those things back in and just go about our business. But what I want to challenge you with, parents, is are there things that kind of were in the basket before that maybe don't need to go back in? Are there things in your life or in the life of your student that we're adding busyness, and maybe even aren't bad things in and of themselves, but they are taking away from focus and investment and growth in areas that truly do matter, in their spiritual growth, in their emotional growth, in their physical health, in their social, all those different things? Are there things that have been trimmed because of this that maybe just need to stay away and out of our lives? I don't know what those are specifically for you and your family, but I would challenge you as a parent to really start examining and looking at that, to think through what that would look like, to come out of this on the other side and not just go back to the way things were, but come out better. Come out, not coming out and being better, just do X, Y, and Z, but really letting God speak into our lives and say, hey, there were some things that you were doing here, and here, that while they're not necessarily bad, they were becoming idols for you. They were becoming idols for your family, and I'm going to call you away from that. So whatever that is, I'm praying for you guys to try and figure that out. I'd love to have a conversation. If you've got questions or want to talk about that, holler at me, let's do it. But I really want to come through this as people that are trimmed a little bit more into the image of Jesus. And I think that a part of that's going to be not just going back to the status quo. So praying for you guys, praying for your students. And please stay connected, because we want to hear from you. We want you to know what's going on as we move through this in the next few weeks. So we'll talk to you all later.